As I'm getting my sea legs a bit more here with this reacting and doing vocal breakdowns, I'm getting really clear about what I like and what I don't like that I'm reacting to right now. And Chinchilla is everything that I like in what I'm reacting to. And here's what it is. I'm excited about authenticity. I'm excited about vulnerability. I'm excited about raw human vocals being delivered in an authentic, vulnerable way. I feel that moving into the future, it's going to get weirder and harder to discern between what's a human vocal and what's a human vocal that's been really doctored and what's a straight up AI vocal. So Chinchilla and Ren and all of these artists around Ren are authentic, visceral, raw human beings expressing something vulnerable, not as concerned about micro obsessive, meticulous little curated perfection, but about authentic human expression. And that gets me going, as you can tell from how excited I just said that right there. Cannot wait to listen to this. The song has been recommended to me so many times in the comments. I'm going to watch it right now. This is going to be an early release on Patreon for those of you in my Patreon community. If you're watching this now because I've aired it later on YouTube, you've got to join my Patreon community. We have lots of Ren conversations and Chinchilla conversations and other great artist conversations going on, in addition to some other like perks like early releases and other cool things. So come join up over on my Patreon. All right, here we go. I can't wait to jump in. I'm going to listen all the way through. Then I'm going to go back and just break it down.
I wish that I could say I can only deal with so much rejection, but that implies I'm gonna leave and I'm too weak, yeah, I'm too weak now. I'm hopelessly addicted to the breadcrumbs of your affection. When you send one less kiss than me, it's all I read, it's all I read now. I say I love you, but you only reply 1 out of 5 times. Like I love you, but I hate you, it's such a fucking fine line. Are you doing it to spite me, yo? Couldn't you say it a little more? Do you really only love sometimes? At a ratio of 1 to 5. I don't know how to keep to my own bare minimum boundary. I hope you never see the truth, that I would move no more for you now. So I cling onto the secret while you dance in circles around me. We both know I won't make you choose, in case you do, in case I lose now. I say I love you, but you only reply 1 out of 5 times. Like I love you, but I hate you, it's such a fucking fine line. Are you doing it to spite me, yo? Couldn't you say it a little more? Do you really only love sometimes? At a ratio of 1 to 5. Is the person I've been fighting for emotionally unavailable? What have we been so divided by? Love me once, I love you back 5 times. So say I love you. So say I love you. So say I love you. Do you really only love sometimes? Oh. So say I love you. Say I love you. I love you. Do you really only love sometimes?
Ah! Chinchilla! Oh my God. Oh my God. I just pulled my headphones out. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me see if I can plug this in. Okay. Oh my God. That's great singing. That's great singing right there. You want to talk about what great singing is? It's that. It's that. Great songwriting, expressive, emotive singing, raw, visceral performing. That's what that is. That's what I love. That's what this channel is about, celebrating. Ah! I am such a huge Chinchilla fan. So now I'm a renegade and a chili bean, I guess. There you go. I've said it. That's what I am. I'm a chili bean. I have to just be honest with you. It's so incredible reacting to this right on the heels of reacting to Sabrina Carpenter singing the cover of Good Luck Babe. I'm sorry, I'm not throwing shade around, but I'm just being honest, and like this feels real. This is what we need to have continuing into the future. This is what's going to keep humanity alive, this type of expression, right? This is raw. She's put in so much time to build her vocal technique so that she's a master of expressing her voice. And that's the human work that needs to be done. Then she's written a song where her amazing vocal technique can become the vehicle to deliver this high level of expression. That's what we just experienced right there. Oh, that chorus, the way that the chorus lifts up, the harmonies in the chorus, this message of I love you this much and you only love me half as much back. How common of a theme is that in failed relationships where there's one person loving the other person more than the other person is loving back, and it creates this imbalance in the relationship. What a beautiful, vulnerable thing to write a song about, right? Oh, it's so real. It's so raw. Oh, she's amazing. I love Chinchilla. I am such a chili bean. All right. So that's my first sort of impression. I have so much more in my first impression, but I'm going to get to it when I go through the breakdown anyway. So now let's go back and do the breakdown.
I wish that I could say I can only do with so much rejection, but that implies I'm gonna leave and I'm too weak. Yeah, I'm too weak now.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that tone quality, but first I just have to talk about the costuming. I love her costuming. I love this big, wild, larger than life, abstract stuff that she does. So I was reading a little bit about this EP, Flytrap, and that the whole concept was, I think she said it was something that her mother told her, which was if you hold on to something too tightly that you love, you kill it. And that the Flytrap was kind of about that, and also about the music business. And I don't know, there's some more to it. I didn't get too deep into the meaning of it yet because I know that you all are going to let me know about it probably in the comments. So please feel free to chime in on interpretation, what this song means to you, things like that. I'm going to just do my best to piece it together after this first listen. But the concept of loving someone that doesn't love you back as much, oh, what a potent concept, okay? All right, now, vocal technique here. Her tone quality in the beginning of this is spectacular. Let's go back and hear that again.
I wish that I could say I can only do with so much rejection.
All right, so let's talk about that tone there. She has so much R&B, soul, hip-hoppiness in her tone, the way she sings. One of the biggest places you can hear that is in the way that she uses her vowels. Her ah vowels are super lateral. I could only do like that ah. She's doing that super lateral thing, and that gives her some of that edge, that like soulful edge to her tone. Listen for that right here.
I wish that I could say I can only do with so much rejection.
Good.
That implies I'm gonna leave and I'm too weak. Yeah, I'm too weak now.
Now she's also doing that that she's got that dentalized T where she puts a little more pressure buildup in her T's to create a slamming effect. No, I'm too weak. You hear her do that? That's almost like a Chinchilla thing, It's so cool. Also, when she goes down into this low voice here, she opens her throat a little more. I'm too weak. You notice she's adding a little extra space in her voice. That's another thing that gives that like soul singer sound. Check that out. Listen to all that stuff she's got going on there. Lateral ah vowels, opening her throat into the bottom of her voice, dentalizing those T's.
I wish that I could say I can only deal with so much rejection.
Hear that?
But that implies I'm gonna leave and I'm too weak, yeah, I'm too weak now.
Two. Hear that?
I'm hopelessly addicted to the breadcrumbs of your affection.
Breadcrumb. She's got a lot of depth in her tone here. She knows how to open her throat a little bit in her singing to add depth of tone. That's not a common skill to have as a pop singer. Opening your throat is something that you learn when you sing classical music. Oh, it changes your tone. So like if I'm like, I remember when I lost my mind. I have a certain amount of openness in the back of my throat for that tone. But what if I open it a little bit? I remember when I lost my mind. Ah, do you hear how that second one was a little more deep? It had a little deeper tone. I wasn't singing any lower. I just opened my throat a little bit and that added this deeper sound. She has this coordination. She's able to open her tone up to give it that depth here. It's so good.
When you send one less kiss than me, it's all I read, it's all I read now.
Also, her use of grit. All I read. She knows how to activate her false chords, which is the grit thing, right? You add grit to your voice by using compression. Compression is the cinching of your pharynx, which is the space above your larynx, and it just gets the false chords into the stream of air. She's a master of that coordination. She turns it on and turns it off. It creates angst in the tone. Perfect for this song.
To the breadcrumbs of your affection.
Listen for the grit.
When you send one less kiss than me, it's all I read, it's all I read now.
Isn't that texture so perfect there?
I say I love you, but you only reply 1 out of 5 times.
The amount of brass and power she accesses in her voice in such an efficient way is very unique. She doesn't have to work that hard to be that powerful. She's got everything so well lined up in her technique.
Like I love you, but I hate you, it's such a fucking fine line. Are you doing it to spite me, oh? Couldn't you say it a little more? Do you really only love sometimes at a ratio of 1 to 5?
Oh, those harmonies. Oh, I love the harmonies. I love how this chorus just kind of creates space. There's not like this big change of instrumentation. There's not like this like huge swell of instruments. It's just a little bit of a chord change. Then it's her sitting up in the power part of her voice. And then these sweet harmonies and sort of a lighter tone quality around her brassy power sound. Oh, it's all it took for me to instantly go full body goosebumps in that part. Let's listen back to that chorus entrance there.
I say I love you, but you only reply 1 out of 5 times.
Oh, that message. I say I love you, but you won't respond 1 out of 5 times. Oh, so much love to all of you out there who have had this relationship experience where you've loved like that and then you haven't received the love back. I hope you were able to get out of those relationships quickly and you weren't sending love where it wasn't being received for too long. Isn't this an important message for us all to learn about life and love?
Like I love you, but I hate you, it's such a fucking fine line. Are you doing it to spite me, oh? Couldn't you say it a little more? Do you really only love sometimes at a ratio of 1 to 5? Is the person I've been fighting for emotionally unavailable? What have we been so divided by? Love me once, I love you back 5 times.
Oh, That rips my heart out. Absolutely. I'm still goosebumpy now. And the second time through, the amount of brass that she has accessible in her voice is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's just like she turns on this sheen and this cut in her tone that is so electric. And then she turns it off and makes these intimate, scratchy, introspective tones. Her vocal control is killer, killer, killer. She is one of my favorite artists alive today, no doubt about it.
I don't know how to keep to my own bare minimum boundary.
So here she's using a little vocal fry in addition to her false chord activation to get the grit. Vocal fry is when you do it at the vocal fold level. It's like an underneath and up feeling for the singer. And that's the one grit sound that's actually created at the vocal fold level. The rest of the grit we create when we sing is actually created through extra vibratory surfaces inside of the vocal chain, not created at the vocal fold.
I hope you never see the truth that I would move no more for you.
Now that right there was false vocal fold activation here in that grit. And that's just a little, I don't know, but so you can hear right there, I don't know. If you're able to hold a note and have that creaky sound happening at the same time, then that's false chord activation. If you do the gritty sound though, and as soon as you go to make a normal vocal sound, the gritty sound goes away, then that was vocal fry. Like that. Notice as soon as the creaky sound went away, then I was phonating.
So I cling onto the secret while you dance in circles around me.
Now we've got harmony in the verse.
Secret while you dance in circles around me. We both know I won't make you choose in case you do, in case I lose now.
The texture in her tone quality is spectacular. So to teach texture and tone quality, I've been using this concept I call the triangle a lot. At the top of the triangle, we have our grit element in the sound. At the bottom left side of the triangle, we have our brass element in the sound. And at the bottom right side of the triangle, we have our windy element in the sound. You want to think about, these are the primary things in singing that add texture. How much grit do we have in the sound? How brassy is the sound we're making versus windy? Make a brassy sound, then go to a windy sound that has a certain effect. Going from a windy sound to a brassy sound has a certain effect. You start messing around with these three things, that's where a lot of your tone quality diversity can come in your singing. She is a master of that. If you notice, she's brassy sometimes. She's gritty sometimes. She's windy sometimes. She's back and forth. In the middle of a phrase, she may do that change 3 or 4 times. That takes absolute vocal technical mastery to be able to do that. Another singer that does that really well is Adele.
Secret while you dance in circles around me. We both know I won't make you choose in case you do, in case I lose now. Say I love you, but you only reply 1 out of 5 times.
These lyrics are killing me.
Like I love you, but I hate you, it's such a fucking fine line. Are you doing it to spite me? Oh, couldn't you say it a little more? Do you really only love sometimes? At a ratio of 1 to 5.
Wonder what the significance is of the white masks on the background musicians here. Anybody have any ideas? I bet you do.
Is the person I've been fighting for emotionally unavailable? What have we been so divided by? Love me once, I love you back 5 times. So say I love you.
Okay, this bridge destroys me. You know, if you know from some of my other reactions, I'm a big fan of a great bridge. I think bridges are such a cool tool in the world of contemporary commercial music. They break up the song material up to this point to create a fresh new arrival back to the material later on. And this is such a great bridge. Sometimes with bridges, we get edgier and bigger and raw. In this case, she gets sweeter. She pulls back. We get more intimate. We get more introspective. It's a little bit of a lighter, sweeter tone from her. I love that she's showing this side of her singing here. She's such a powerhouse singer. When a powerhouse singer shows that sweet side of their voice, it's such a special thing, isn't it? That's what she's doing right here.
So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you.
So that sound she's doing right there, that's a mix with a lot of grit. So what she did was she backed off on the air pressure and the thickening into the tone. But she didn't back off fully. If you notice, there's still brass element in that sound. But if you also listen, there's a little bit of wind. There's a little bit of release in the tone. Very different from her brassy tones earlier on in the song. Again, amazing vocal coordination to do that. Listen to her mix here.
So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you.
So notice it's not a pure head voice. Say I. It's not, ooh, it's not pure fluty, but also it's not pure brassy like her belting earlier in the song. That's a mix. In the world of voice pedagogy, we call that a mix. And a lot of what I do in teaching voice is teaching people how to mix.
So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you. So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you.
Those harmonies are so gorgeous. Oh my God.
Say I, say I, say I, say I love you. So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you. Do you really only love sometimes?
Do you really only love sometimes?
Oh. So say I, say I, say I, say I, say I, say I love you. Say
Now we're starting to expand. Now we're ramping up out of the light bridge. Woo! Here we go. And this high part we get to is insane coming up. Her agility is insane. Chinchilla, you're killing me. Do I need to tell you how hard that is to do? That is so crazy. She is so far up there. But if you notice, again, I talked about this in, what was it that she was belting? I forget what it was where she was able to access. Oh, it was in fingers. In the high note that she belted in fingers, she was able to access vibrato, even though it was a high power note. That's one of those things that in singing, if you're able to have vibrato on a high power note, that's your body telling you that you're in a freer posture in doing it than you would be if you weren't able to do vibrato. Vibrato is like one of those things that your voice only lets you do if you're not pushing or you're not under energized or you're not tight. It's almost like one of those little treats that your voice gives you when everything is right. And that she's able to access her vibrato so fluently in that register of her voice with that much air pressure going on is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I can't think of very many singers out there that can do it as well as she can. Nah, I can't. I really can't. Most of the time, singers who belt with that much power up there are not able to access their vibrato as fluently as she is. Let's listen to that part again.
Say I love you. Do you really only love sometimes? Sometimes.
Hear it?
I'm so...
Again, she also has agility there too. That's another thing that goes away when you're pushing if you're singing too big. She's not singing too big, even though it sounds gigantic what she's doing. A little growl technique there too, which is like the false chord activation thing, the squeezy thing, but turned way up.
So say I, say I, say I, say I love you.
I love the way she just turned on the grid at the end there. It just sounded like she was crying. That was all on purpose and so brilliant.
Do you really only love sometimes?
The little crying, the little vibrato, the voice breaking. Oh my God. And then the little like sawing violin crazy sound ending on such an unresolved sound. It's kind of something that Ren does a lot too, right? Oh, I am such a big fan of Chinchilla. I can't tell you. Like, I'm going to react to probably everything she's ever sung. I can't imagine I'm not going to. It's just too much fun. She's everything that I'm about right now as a voice teacher, as an artist, as a lover of music, and, you know, as an educator. Wait, I already said that, as a voice teacher. Well, you get the idea. Thanks for getting me to listen to this. You all are amazing. I love you all so much. Renegades, you chili beans. It's been such a blessing to my teaching and my life to get to know you all and to have this type of art, not only from me, but from me to share with my students and my instructors, and for us to have these talks about what makes great singing and what makes great songs and what makes great art, you know. I feel that now more than ever in society, we have to be having these talks. So thanks for being here with me. Thanks for being on this journey with me. If you like this video, subscribe, click the little notification to stay up to date, and don't forget to come hop into the Patreon. Lots of talks happening over there, and lots of voting and helping me decide what the next songs I should react to are. So I'll see you soon. Cheers.